welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda and I am here with my weekly wrap up. It is the 1st of September. I may have said in another video it's the 1st of September because time has no meaning and I got the date wrong like several times this week. But and I know you're probably sick of seeing me because I've had a video out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and out Saturday when you see this. And there's going to be extra videos next week too. Reasons for that basically is because it just happened that I had a couple books that I really wanted to do a video review of, and it's the end of the month, so I have end of the month stuff. And it just kind of got crammed all together. I didn't want to put anything way off, so I'm like, let's just do it. So I just did it. The downside to all this is I'm behind on stuff. I'm really behind on my comments and on watching videos, so I'm going to try and make some headway on that today. I was hoping to do it yesterday. But yesterday we had my husband's work picnic, and it was the only day this whole summer that was cold and rainy. But we went anyway, had it. The kids got cookie salad. I made cookie salad for her because it was a potluck. It's a very interesting potluck when you ask a bunch of engineers. I'm sorry, engineer thing. If you know, you know. Anyway, and I apologize for the Simpsons in the background. My kids are going back to school on Tuesday. So anyway, that's pretty much been my week. I'm really going to try and, like today and through the weekend, get caught up on my YouTube stuff because I have a lot of videos that are waiting to be edited. I have videos to watch. I have comments to answer. I'm very sorry I'm very behind on it. But let's get down to the wrap up. So yesterday, and I kind of did this wrong. I should have waited until after I did this video to do yesterday's video. Well, not yesterday's that aired, but yesterday that I recorded, which was my August wrap up, because I talked at length at a couple of these books and I don't want to replicate exactly what I said. So I'm not going to talk too deeply about some of these books that I finished this week, but I'll talk about them more in my August wrap up. So I did finish 4 books this week. The first one I finished was for my library book club, and it's Daughters of the Flower Fragrant Garden. Two sisters separated by China's civil war by Zhuqing. So this is a biography. Zhuqing is talking about 2 of her aunts who, by circumstance, they happen to be in geographically 2 different places at the time when the nationalists left China and the communists moved in. So you had mainland China and Taiwan all of a sudden. So they went for a very long period of time without seeing each other. In fact, the author says at the beginning that she was a teenager, young adultish, she had to have been a teenager for reasons that I talk about in this book, before she even knew that she had this other aunt. She had never heard of her. And there's reasons why they never spoke of her that they're not bad family stuff. There's just other practical reasons why they never spoke about her. I ended up giving this a B+. I'm kind of thinking I maybe should give it a B. I'm not sure. Story itself was fine. There's a lot of hero worship in this, and I talk about more in that in my August wrap up. So I'm going to be discussing this tomorrow with my book club, and I'll see if I'm the only one who has these issues. I don't think so. And then I finished this book that I had to read this month. I was going back on my TBR shelves because it had been in my TBR priority basket for a year. This is The Three Dahlias by Katy Watson. I do not think this is available in the US. I got this from Blackwell's. I picked it up because it says it's, basically it's an homage to Golden Age mysteries. I love Golden Age mysteries. Problem is this is not an homage to Golden Age mysteries. They use kind of a Golden Age mystery setup. The idea is that there was a Agatha Christie-like author named Lettice Davenport who wrote a character named Dahlia Lively, who is a lot like Tuppence. I would say that's probably the character she's most like, is Tuppence in the Tommy and Tuppence books. And Dahlia has been portrayed on screen twice before, and then there's going to be a new iteration of her. There's a fan convention. The 3 actresses, who are the 3 Dahlias, come together. There's a crime. They have to solve it. So that's where the Golden Age part comes in, but this is honestly a cozy. And then I had a structural issue with this book. Really brought it down for me, so I gave this one a C. And then I finished the 13th Ruth Galloway book, which means I only have 2 left. And this one's The Nighthawks, which is, so this one's interesting because it's not the one that's about lockdown, but it's the one that at least one of them that she wrote during lockdown. You kind of get a little bit of that. Like, I didn't realize that till the end of the book. And there's a character in this book, this is not a spoiler, but his area of expertise is like some virus, which I didn't even pick up. And had I known that going into the book, I would have been like, I see what you're doing there. But anyway, I gave this one an A because the mystery was fine. The mystery was good and interesting and all that. The overarching story, I really feel like it has been... My kids are making lots of noise. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. It's bad enough I have to deal with The Simpsons, but I had all the other noise too. Anyway, the last couple books in this series, the overarching plot that runs through the entire series, seem to be treading water. And especially in the last book, I was getting very impatient with it. This one, I'm seeing that it's going to start moving, and I really appreciated that. And I like the fact that I didn't get all of a sudden a rush of things changing, but I got now the wheels are turning. It handled it really well. So, and it's making me really excited for the last two books, except I'll be sad when I'm done with Ruth. Well, but yeah, I give that one a 4. And then my final book that I read this week was Reykjavik by Ragnar Jónasson and Katrín Jakobsdóttir. Translated from the Icelandic by Victoria Cribb. I read this for NetGalley, so I have it's going to be on Monday. I have 3 NetGalley reviews in one, and it's going to be included in there. But I like this. I gave it a B+. It probably could have been an A or an A+, except for one thing, which one thing that there's 2 issues I had with them, but one is a me issue, so I didn't factor that into what grade I gave it. But the other one did bring it down to a B+, but it's still an enjoyable book, and I recommend it. So, for what I am reading now, I of course do not have my print books with me, but I'm actually currently, as of right now, only reading 2 books. But I will be starting one more, so I'll be at 3, which is the least number of books I've been reading at one time for a long time. So the book I'm going to be starting today, which I left upstairs, so we're going to have a graphic of it, is 3-Act Tragedy by Agatha Christie. This is another Poirot. I'm reading her books in sort of kind of loosely chronological order, so this was just the next one up. Basically, I'm doing chronological order unless there's some reason why I want to go ahead and read another one. So I'm just really loosey-goosey about it. Haven't started it yet, so I don't know what to think about it. But I could have started this a few days ago, but I wanted to finish the Nighthawks. Well, especially I wanted to finish Reykjavik because I wanted to be able to include it in my September 5th reviews are coming out on September 4th. So I kind of put it to the side until I finished those. And I just finished Reykjavik yesterday. So I'm going to be starting that. And then I am continuing with Tom Lake by Ann Patchett, narrated by Meryl Streep. I'm doing about a chapter a day. So I'm going to be listening to it for a while, and that's fine. I'm enjoying it. It's, I think everyone's listening to it, it seems like. So there you go. And then last night... Okay, so I should say I lately have been having 2 ebooks going because one would be a NetGalley and one would be another one. I'm holding off on my NetGalleys for right now. I still have a number of September releases on my NetGalley queue, but I'm putting them to the side, and I'm going to start reading October releases because I don't want a domino effect of being behind. But I have 2 other non-NetGalley ebooks that I need to have read by next weekend. Because I have a discussion on Saturday and a discussion on Sunday. So I'm going to hold off on reading any NetGalley books until I finish those. And the first one of those that I am reading now, I just started it last night, is Olga Dies Dreaming by González. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm sorry. I don't want to slaughter it. Ms. González. I only have read less than 10% of it so far, but I am really enjoying it. It's kind of fun. That's for my Marginals and Margaritas book club, and we chose a Latinx book. Our choices were they Latinx and disability, and we chose Latinx this one, so we did Olga Dies Dreaming. And I need to read that. And then I thought I had more time, but they changed the date. The book Cougar's next read-along discussion is actually next Sunday. Which is going to be the same time I have a Girl Scout event, so I have to maneuver things and put everything together. But they're going to be discussing 3 books. They're going to be discussing The Scarlet Letter, which we've already done a discussion of, but we're going to include it with this. The Invisible Hour, which I have read, a video review of it, and Hester by Laurie, Lico, Albanese. I meant to read that last month, and I just couldn't work it in, so I have to get it done. So I will be reading that as soon as I finish Olga Dies Dreaming. And once I finish that, then I will pick up with my October NetGalley books. But I just am trying to, I'm behind in things right now. We're kind of at that rush at the end of summer. I've had a lot of back to school stuff to do. My daughter has, she had her back to school night on Monday, which was a really good one because her high school has a very interesting setup. It's the old high school, which means it was built in like the 60s, I think, but it's all individual buildings. So it was nice to be able to get her schedule, although there's a mistake on her schedule they still have to fix, but still, and walk through and see where everything was going to be. I think that probably alleviated both her and my nerves about it. So that was really good. And then on Wednesday, my son had his back to school night at the middle school where my daughter was. And I had been worried about him in middle school. So it really helped for us to be able, we had his schedule and we walked his classes. He met all his teachers. He has 4 teachers that my daughter had. And for first period, he has, he's saying creative writing because my daughter told him it was an easy A. And the teacher is the guy who also does drama. So my daughter has had him pretty continually during middle school. And the first thing he said to my son was, "You're Lily's brother. Why aren't you in drama?" Well, he'd actually asked to be in drama, but it filled up. So they put him in choir and he's not a singer. So, but I said, it's only a semester. It's an easy A as long as you show up and have a good attitude. Give it a try. And he does get to, after a week, request to change. So he is going to try it for a week and then we'll see if he needs to change it or not. But, he didn't ask for it. And I kind of feel like, really? And I do know that and I think the elective he would have gotten was drama. That's a class that's both 7th graders and 8th graders, and 8th graders do get priority for it. So what I don't especially like about it is that he signed up for 2 technology electives, and they put them both in the 2nd semester. And it's not him waiting to 2nd semester, which is the problem for me. It's the fact that they're both in 2nd semester. I would have liked for him to have 1 each semester, but whatever. So anyway, we just need my daughter's schedule to get fixed. And I just checked, and the system that they use is not working. So maybe they're updating everything. We have school supplies, except I need to order one thing for my son. And yeah, and then we're good to go. So maybe videos that I make after this one, we won't have the television. Well, I can't guarantee that because my husband will still be on. Probably won't be television with him. It'll be him doing dishes or something. I don't know. It's still going to be noisy. I'm sorry. This is my life. It's just noisy. Anyway, I am starting to babble, so I am going to go. It was a great reading month, as you will see in my August wrap up. I was kind of surprised when I did the numbers, but you'll have to wait and see that. That should be up next Thursday, I think is when I'm putting it up. So if you made it this far, please give me a thumbs up. That helps me. It helps my channel in the magic little algorithm thing, as does subscribing. So I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.